Hello, everyone. How are we? Hopefully, all of you are on a fantastic day, wherever you are around the world. And welcome back to yet another Liverpool news episode for you guys tonight. Hopefully, everyone's having a good Monday. Of course, beginning of the week is always horrible. But yeah, hopefully, everyone's having a good Monday in that sense as well. But again, we are here for a news episode. Of course, as you can tell by the thumbnail and the title, we are going to discuss Rúben Amorim a bit later on in the show. Of course, does look like he will be the next Liverpool manager if the reports are said to be true. As well, we'll also discuss, of course, Rodrigo, obviously Brazil's and Real Madrid's superstar, you should say, in Rodrigo, of course, has been speaking about Liverpool and a potential move that he could have had in 2017. And we'll also take a look at a potential goalkeeper that Liverpool are looking at again next season. It does look like there is going to be a bit of a shake-up in terms of, again, personnel within the squad. So again, some news has come out about goalkeepers as well. So again, let us know all your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. Of course, we're gonna start the show, of course, speaking about yesterday. Obviously, we've done a post-match. If you guys want to go and check that out, then please go and do so. But yeah, of course, obviously more hours on from the game last night. I think that all of us, I think rightfully so, yesterday was very annoyed. But I think taking a back seat and looking at it, was it we're not on top by we're on top by goal, or not on top by goal difference. It could be a lot worse in that sense as well. Of course, we should have won yesterday, but I think, look, overall, you hope nothing like this happens again this season. And I think also, when you do look at, hopefully, obviously those boys in the front line, obviously Lucho, Darwin, Mo, Gakpo as well, hopefully they do take this as, again, motivation for the rest of the season and take the frigging opportunities, because the amount of chances we had yesterday was ridiculous, wasn't it? And again, I'll also mention it as well with Jarell Konza. Again, I don't get why people are hating so much. Yes, made a mistake, but look, he's young, he's going to be a superstar for Liverpool in the future. And look, people need to, give their heads a wobble when it comes to Jarell Konza, because again, I think, he is definitely going to be a superstar in the future. And look, again, it could have been a lot worse yesterday. We could have got nothing from that game. It's frustrating, of course, that we didn't win. But again, one little hiccup now from Arsenal or City, obviously for Arsenal more or less. Again, Liverpool will hopefully, go for the jugular in that sense as well. Anyway, but getting to your guys' comments anyway, but Chris is in saying, hopefully the Amorim news is true. Was always my number one target for Chris. He also says slightly overreaction from yesterday, not from you, from those who say title race is over. Basically, the ones who beg for views and don't go to games as well. Chris was saying, find it funny. We are out of the title race, but tied on points with Arsenal. Make it make sense. Arsenal have been brilliant, but they will drop points somewhere too as well. I do look at Arsenal's games, and of course they've got United away. I think it'll massively depend on what Manchester United turn up. See, that's the thing. Like, if United turn up like they did against us yesterday, I think as Klopp said it, Arsenal batter United everywhere. I think, Arsenal will probably get 3 points there. The big one for me is Spurs away for Arsenal. Same with City as well. I think Manchester City is going to be, not Manchester City, sorry. I think Tottenham are going to be the difference maker in this title race. But again, that's all we have to be now is perfect. And it's a lot easier said than done, but it's true. Liverpool have to win every game from now until the end of the season to be able to even think towards being Premier League champions at the back end as well. So look, I hope that Jurgen would have properly had a go at them, because again, we should never have been dropping points yesterday, without a shadow of a doubt anyway. But we'll get on to today's news anyway, chat. And we'll speak about Rodrigo. He did an interview, obviously revealing that he almost joined Liverpool in 2017. As you can see, but there he said that I almost joined Liverpool in 2017. The deal was done for €3 million. It collapsed because I said no. I wanted to stay at Santos, make history, finish my studies, and then leave, even though the offer from Liverpool was very good. Now, of course, he's got linked to Liverpool, of course, the last couple of weeks. Obviously, the rumours will keep on coming and going because, of course, Mo Salah's future is currently up in the air, isn't it? You know, we don't know yet where or when the decision for Mo Salah will be made. You know, if he's going to get a new contract, if they're going to try and work towards that, or whether or not, you know, Mo might go in the summer. Of course, I think once potentially the new manager comes in, of course, Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes will obviously look at this situation and already be conducting, obviously, what if Mo Salah was to leave. Obviously, Rodrigo saying there that he almost joined Liverpool. Again, I've seen people on social media saying that he rejected Liverpool, which is fair enough. You know, you look at young Brazilian talents and you look at Liverpool in 2017, obviously it was still a progression in that sense. I think that's probably just before we might have signed Mo in that sense as well, because of course the Mo deal was very much up in the air at the time. I think that originally Roma wanted, I think, 42 million. We managed to get it down to 34, obviously due to Michael Edwards as well. But look, it's one of these situations, again, I think if you went through, you know, if you went through history, like look at Arsene Wenger, for example, I think you could make an 11 of players that Arsene Wenger, you know, almost signed in that sense as well. So again, it goes to show that he's probably still on Liverpool's list if Liverpool wanted to do a deal. Of course, obviously, we know that Liverpool like to keep tabs on players even if they do go elsewhere. Look at example Mo Salah again. You know, Michael Edwards really wanted Mo Salah at Liverpool back in 2014 or 2013 when it was. Of course, missed out to Chelsea, went to Roma. Went to Fiorentina, I think first, went to Roma, and then, you know, again, come back to Liverpool, or came to Liverpool in that sense as well. And Rodrigo might be the same. You know, Real Madrid might need to cash in or might need to sell players due to FFP potentially, or again to build up obviously funds. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts. Is Rodrigo, you know, a type of player that we would be interested in? I'm not sure. Again, would fit the profile of a right forward but we may need after next season, or, you know, we do need next season depending on if Mo does go, because I think there will be. I think that one of the first things that the new manager will have to put up with and will quickly sort out is the Mo Salah situation, because Liverpool won't want the situation of last summer where, again, we saw Saudis come in, bid very late, Liverpool couldn't really do anything. They'll want the situation sorted before the season even starts, or even before we even start pre-season. I think Liverpool want to get that situation and, you know, sorted in that sense as well. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts on the Rodrigo stuff as well. Again, if it is true, then again, he did leave, obviously rejected Liverpool for to stay at Santos. Again, you know, what could have been in that sense as well. But Christian Plus, Arsenal says he could get each other in the semi-finals of the Champions League. For me, Arsenal need to reach the final to help them in the title race. If they get knocked out, a huge pressure on them from media. Yeah, 100%. Big up Ozan as well, who's doing well, mate, saying big up to Connor. I still feel gutted from yesterday. Yeah, same, mate. Again, thinking about it, it's horrific. But again, we have to move on. And of course, Thursday now is an important game against Atalanta for the Europa League. Anyway, but Zayn saying Rodrigo probably made the right move in terms of his development. Top players come from Santos like Pele and Neymar. Yeah. Again, like you look at, for me, I think Endrick. I think Endrick's going to be a superstar in European football. It's most likely going to happen. What happened with Vinny? Like Vinny didn't really set the world alight at Real Madrid at first. You know, it took him a few seasons. I think the same will probably happen with Endrick. It'll take him a while to get used to European football, and then Madrid have got special talent, again, forward. Again, if they was to get Mbappe, just the thought process of that, their attacking lineup or their most attacking players are Vinny Jr., Endrick, Rodrigo, Mbappe, Jude Bellingham in that as well. Again, it's frightening to think about. Like that team is really, really good. I take it that Rodrigo news was before we signed Salah. Yeah, I thought that as well. I think that was probably the reason why we went full on for Mo, because of course we did have a bid rejected of like I said, £40 million, and we didn't. We wasn't going to go back in. This is why the Julian Brandt stuff come out, and again, it's interesting the fact that 2017 was pretty much the turning point for Liverpool in terms of getting to a Champions League final, in terms of, again, what we managed to achieve under Jurgen Klopp in terms of the Champions League, in terms of the Premier League, and so on. And that summer especially was a big one as well for us. But Rodrigo only signs if Salah leaves, in my opinion. Yeah, 100%. He probably won't even leave Madrid. That's the interesting point about it, where look, Liverpool could, if you do have to replace Mo at the end of the season, you're either looking at a top talent, which again, I think if you look at the numbers, the only right-sided forward that could potentially, replace Mo in terms of numbers is Kylian Mbappe, which we know that's never going to happen. So again, it's probably going to take 2 or 3 players to replace Mo in terms of numbers as well. But again, just let me know your guys' thoughts on the Rodrigo stuff anyway. But we will get on to another story, and of course, goalkeepers. Now, it does look like the Liverpool are going to be looking for this man on the screen right there. From David Lynch, this is saying Liverpool keeping tabs on Sunderland goalkeeper Anthony Patterson ahead of a potential reshuffle in the goalkeeping department this summer. Now, in David Lynch's article piece on This Is Anfield, he did go on to state that Adrian, of course, looks like he's going to be unlikely to stick around next season, and also Keller is attracting big interest from other clubs. So it wasn't necessarily named Premier League clubs, but it was named major clubs. So again, it could be teams in Europe that could be interested in Keller. You look at it this season. Obviously, he's played the most games as a goalkeeper for Liverpool this season. Obviously, Ali, I think, has only played 24, I think it is, or 25 games this season for Liverpool. Keller now, I think, has gone one above him in that sense as well. So again, I haven't seen too much of him. I can't say, I've watched loads of Sunderland this season. I think I've watched 1 game this year. So if anyone does know what he is like, how he is, again, let me know, because I'm not too sure about him. I think, I'll quickly take a look at him. I think he's around 24, I think, Pettersson. I will double check, though, because I should have done that at the start of the show. Anyway, but let me quickly double check how old Pettersson is, and then I'll let you guys know. No, he's 23. So, again, on the young side, obviously learning under Allison, it does look like he's definitely going to leave Sunderland. I think he leaves on a free contract, I think. So, again, perfect signing for Liverpool in that sense as well. So, but let me know your guys' thoughts on where you think Keller could go, because, and for how much, because obviously this season, if Liverpool was to go on and win something, Keller has been a huge factor in that. And Liverpool, I think last season they wanted around 20 million. I think to put 25 if they could. I think Liverpool probably look for 30 now this season. But again, it's more the question of who could potentially come in for him. Is there a promoted team that could come in? Is there a Premier League team? Because I think Keller gets in the majority of teams. I think if we're talking about starting goalkeepers, probably gets in everywhere apart from City. Obviously United won't take him because of obviously it's United. Everton won't take him because of Pickford. But you look at the rest of the league, and Keller definitely goes into a majority of the teams. Arsenal though as well, with Raya and Ramsdale. So that's another team that won't. But still, the majority from probably. The majority of teams. I was going to say the top 6 down, but I think if somebody wants to take a punt on Keller, they could do. But do you think Keller is wanting to leave? Yeah, there was a conversation last season around it. Ozan Klopp, I think, spoke about it freely. Keller did want to leave this season, and Liverpool and Klopp said no. They said, could you stick around for one more season? And Keller accepted it. And I think that's the interesting one where you do look at it. Liverpool will definitely allow a player to leave if it makes sense, but again, if it doesn't, then they won't. I think the only team, last season, I think was Burnley. I think came in, or there was, I think Brentford as well came in, but they were low ball offers in that sense as well. So again, we will have to wait and see. But wonder who Amorim's first signing is. Will be interesting. So if it is Amorim, Red Machine as well, big up, hope you're doing well. But yeah, it will be interesting. But what about the young Brazilian keeper who went on loan? Forgot his name. Christopher in there. I think I can't remember who he's at loan with. It's a Northern Irish team. I think it is. He's one for the future. But yeah, it's definitely it's always good. He most likely will be the third goalkeeper for Liverpool next season, if of course Amorim hasn't got one of his own. But yeah, it does look like, and it does think that will happen. But I think you have to just wait and see, what Amorim wants. Of course, Alisson's going to be the number one goalkeeper. That's no doubt about that. Look, Alisson is everything. He's amazing. He's great. He's the best in the world. But it's then the backup. Then is there a certain profile that Amorim likes that could be backup to Ali? Who knows? Keller as well. Could Liverpool get a deal done? Is it the big thing for me though as well is we did it with Nat Phillips. We majorly overpriced Nat Phillips at times, which didn't allow him to leave the club. I think that's a little bit as well what we may be doing with Keller, in terms of we could be pricing him at 30-40 million and other teams go, yeah, we're not going to pay that. We can get someone else for 12 million. Like I think the I think the Brentford goalkeeper, I think they signed him from the Bundesliga, I think it was like £8 million, where I think Keller again got linked to Brentford and they were like, yeah, no, we're going to go for a cheaper option, and that's what they may end up doing in that sense as well. But yeah, he's with St. Patrick Athletic. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Rip Machine, for that as well. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts anyway on the Keller situation, because it would be interesting to see what does happen with him next season, because if the right deal is there to be done, then again, we'll have to wait and see in that sense anyway. But we'll get on then and we'll speak about this man, Rúben Amorim. Of course, does look like he will be the next Liverpool manager if things... And of course, these reports are correct, saying obviously Pedro, I'm not going to pronounce his last name, apologies because I don't want to butcher it, but he tweeted this out yesterday saying a meeting between Rúben Amorim's agent and Liverpool is scheduled for this Monday to negotiate the final terms of the Portuguese coach's contract. Sporting is not looking for a new coach yet. Liverpool haven't contacted the Portuguese team yet. And this is what he reported today, saying that exclusive Liverpool offers Ruben Amorim a contract for next season, or for the next 3 seasons, sorry. Financial terms are almost agreed. Negotiations remain positive for Amorim to become the next Liverpool coach. So, again, obviously no British journal reporting this. No one has rejected this as well, neither, which is huge. I think Fabrizio Romano did mention a meeting that was going to happen. Of course, Ruben Amorim's agent is also Luis Diaz's agent as well, so there's a good connection there already as well. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts on that as well. That, again, as he says, but they Liverpool have offered a 3-year contract to Ruben Amorim. Now, similar towards Jurgen Klopp. Oh, there we go. Similar to Jurgen Klopp, obviously, Jurgen was given a 3-year contract. Of course, it was extended, and he was, obviously, he stayed till now. But if it is true, and if Ruben Amorim has been offered a deal, it does look very promising. I think. Sporting Sporting fans are preparing Ruben Amorim to leave this summer. I think, of course, I think 5 points clear now, top of the Liga Portugal. Obviously beating Benfica now as well, which was a big a big result for them. And you look at it, he's the number 1 candidate for a reason. The data makes sense. Liverpool. And there's been reports of Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes preferring Ruben Amorim because of the data as well. And look, he does give off the man. If you give him time, the manager who could do amazing things at a football club. Look what he's done at Sporting. I think he's won their first league title in 19 years. I think it was a couple of years back. The fact that Sporting team is top and beating the likes of beating Porto, and Benfica is nothing short of amazing. And I think as well, Liverpool, of course, they want to be respectful towards Sporting. This is why we haven't heard anything between the 2 clubs, but it's also great in that sense as well that we are getting a move on in terms of confirming who's going to be the next manager. Of course, we've got a season to finish. Sporting's got a season to finish, but it does happily look like it's going to be an easy a transition between managers. It's not going to be, we're not going to be sat here after the Euros and going, oh Christ, we haven't got a manager yet. We know for a fact that Liverpool are working hard behind the scenes to get things done, because as soon as they have a financial agreement between themselves and Ruben Amorim, then of course it's then speaking to Sporting and to look at a compensation fee. Of course there is going to be a compensation fee. We know this. It's going to be around anywhere from 10 million to 20 million euros in that sense as well. So it's just a matter of time. It will be weeks, it's not going to be, now we've heard this news, it's not going to be like an instant accept and we move from there. It's of course going to take a while before we do know anything for sure or do find out anything, but at least this is positive news that Liverpool are bang on it. And hopefully, of course, once our season is finished and once, I think more importantly, when Sporting season's finished as well, it will get confirmed that Ruben Amorim will be the next Liverpool manager as well. So again, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments as well down below. Let me quickly go there. Keller should leave Surgeon's machine. Rodrigo is a clutch player, although he can be frustrating as well. To be fair, I've only ever watched him a few times, and for me, I've never liked any performance of his, which is probably mad for me to say, but yeah, I've never really gone, oh wow, I can see why Real Madrid, he's Real Madrid player, but every time I've watched him, it's been like, he's had a mere performance for Madrid. But 3 years is fair amount of time as well. I was on saying, what formation does Amorim play? 3-4-3, as Red Machine says. But yes, he plays 3-4-3. We might do a deep dive into Ruben Amorim and what what he'll bring to this Liverpool team as well. But perfect replacement for me. We always give managers time. Look what he's achieved already when given time. Yeah, 100%. And I think a lot of people have already suggested that he could be the next Jose Mourinho. Look at what Mourinho did at Chelsea. Obviously, I know he was given players and so on, but still, Jose Mourinho come for the Portuguese league, of course, and has done wonderful things in not only in England or Portugal, of course, in Europe itself. And Ruben Amorim could be that as well. It could be a perfect thing. Look at, again, you don't want to really go over it, but Bill Shankly and Bob Paisley, look at what happened there. Liverpool went on the next level when the transition happened between them two, and for us now today, it could happen again. We could have Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool, Ruben Amorim has a season, and then Liverpool skyrocket all over Europe. It could happen, but we don't know. That's the weird and wonderful thing of football. We never know, or don't know what's never going to happen. As well. But yeah, 3-4-3 for Amorim. Chris asks, do you think Xabi Alonso was ever a candidate? Me and my dad thinking it was a media pushing it, and Amorim, if it is him, was probably scout for ages. Yeah, I think Alonso was a target for Liverpool. I think we all got a bit carried away with the love story of it. And I do think that. I think looking back at it, I think every Liverpool supporter got a bit carried away with Alonso, and even when that big news came out and that Alonso had chosen to stay at Leverkusen. Obviously, I've seen a lot of people saying they were devastated and they were gutted that he wasn't going to be the Liverpool manager. For me, it was, of course, on a personal level, it is a comfortable decision by Alonso. Personally, I think, and I've seen people saying, he will manage Liverpool in the future at some point. I don't think he will. For me, I think the decision for him to stay at Leverkusen was to gain a further year of experience where he could potentially win another Bundesliga title, while also getting that experience from Champions League. The schedule in between the Champions League and the Europa League is obviously completely different. So him having top-notch European football experience, that's huge. And the next season, Real Madrid, and I do think that. I think that Alonso and Real Madrid have had this vision of being one. Madrid didn't want to lose Alonso. I think Alonso was youth team coach, or was going to be youth team coach, and of course they lost him to Sociedad, and then obviously Sociedad to Leverkusen. But Madrid didn't want to let him go. Madrid very much wanted to keep him in the ranks. And I think once Ancelotti is done at Madrid, I think Alonso's the favourite. And then when people say, he could be, Liverpool manager in the future, I just don't think he will. I think it was an opportunity that was too easy to turn down. But Alonso did. But I think if the reports are true that Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes prefer Amorim due to the data, then I don't care. I'm happy with that. Because again, look at what they've done. Look what Michael Edwards has done with the football club in terms of signings. Again, Ali, Virgil, Mo, Gini, Fabinho. Like, again, the data-driven statistics and signings, made Liverpool win the league in that sense. And if we can get back to that, then happy days as well. But Klopp had to take over a mess. Amorim got brilliant squad to take over already. Yeah, he does, and the squad fits his style more or less. It's more a question of, and really, an interesting point in whether or not Liverpool, maybe Ruben Amorim might change in that sense. Again, we know at the minute he plays a 3-4-3, but who's to say that he doesn't develop into a 4-3-3, or he doesn't develop into a different formation that we don't even think about even now. And you look at Liverpool's squad at the minute, to play 3-4-3, we need to sign a lot of centre halves in the summer. If we were to play three back at the minute, we've got Virgil, Gomez, Konza, Kanate, and Matip. Obviously, I know John Matip's going to leave at the end of the season, but again, you're stretching yourself a bit thin normally with Liverpool when there's two centre halves, let alone when you're playing three. So, Liverpool will have to sign a lot of centre halves in the summer to be able to cope with that. But it's also as well a thought process of whether or not Liverpool might do that. Maybe Amorim might comes in and won't he won't come in and do the 3-4-3. Maybe there might be something else, but that's all he's known to play as is the 3-4-3. And you look at Conte. I think a great example of maybe if Ruben Amorim changes, what could happen. And you look at what Antonio Conte did in that first season at Chelsea and the first couple of games. I think he changed to a 4-2-3-1, didn't really like it, didn't adapt, changed it. I think, 7 games into the season, went to the 3-back, and Chelsea won the league. And that's because Antonio Conte went to the football he knows. And you'll have managers and you'll have pundits going, you should adapt to the league and so on. But Amorim might just come in and have this idea, or the ideas of this Liverpool squad, and might take it to a further level that we haven't seen yet. And hopefully that will be the case as well. But again, it does look like he will be the next Liverpool manager. But of course, nothing's confirmed yet, or nothing is ready yet anyway. But Aaron will succeed and win more Prems than Klopp did. That is a big statement as well. But interesting from Red Machine. But FSG won't renew Matip, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm also in agreement with this. I don't think Matip will stay. Same with Thiago. Like, Adrian's going, Thiago's going, Matip's going. So again, you'll have some wage for they just from those three. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if Thiago won't be staying, and that's 100% off the radar. But I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool again were quick to replace them to get them in the door very, very early anyway. But Avengers in as well saying people saying Mbuemo is on our radar. I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be surprised if he was on the radar. I think if we hear more and more stories coming out about players on the right hand side, and if they're going to be coming to Liverpool or not, that for me would suggest that something's happening and Mo might be going. But again, we'll have to wait and see in that regard anyway. But again, guys, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments anyway. Of course, I'll quickly go back over the Amorim stuff as well. So there we go. Brilliant. Get up for Ruben Amorim there. But yeah, a meeting between Rúben Amorim's agent and Liverpool is scheduled for Monday to negotiate the final terms of the Portuguese contract. That was yesterday. And then today, Pedro obviously saying exclusive, Liverpool offers Rúben Amorim a contract for the next 3 seasons. Financial terms are almost agreed. Negotiations remain positive for Amorim to become Liverpool's next coach as well, which again, obviously nothing is sealed yet, and obviously when we get the news from a Joyce or a Ornstein, that will be it. But again, we'd hope that it will be done more or less pretty soon as well. But I was on saying Thiago, Matip and Adrian will save us £360,000 per week on wage. Again, that's mental. Obviously Thiago is a big factor in that. He's on 200,000 a week. So again, it's huge. I like him. I said I wanted him years ago. He chases a lot of causes. He is quick, strong, and scores. It's a weird one though, isn't it? Because you'd fit into Liverpool because he's injured pretty much all the time. recently anyway. Of course, I think he's picked up two, I think back-to-back injuries, isn't he, in Buemo as well. But it's also this sense, though, as well, where for me, if Amorim was to come in to be the next Liverpool manager, it's also that sense of, as well, chat, that midfield I don't think gets touched too much. Because if it is going to be the 3-4-3, then we know it's very much going to be two 8s or 6s, two wing backs and 3 forwards. We know the 3 forwards at the minute is probably Lucho, Darwin, and Mo. Obviously, Jota's probably definitely in with a shout, of being there as well. So probably the front 3: Jota, Salah, Núñez. And then you look at the rest of the squad, and something we may do a video on it, speaking more in depth about it. But for me, the one player in the Liverpool team right now that I can't figure out what Amorim does with him, and that is Trent. And I love Trent. I can't wait for him to be back this weekend because we've missed him. But Trent is a huge factor in what Liverpool do in the future, and Amorim has to find a way of getting Trent in this team, whether that be as a 6, whether that be as a wing back. I'm not so sure. Can Trent be that, that bombing up and down winger like he used to be? I don't think so. I think Trent likes to be more of a controller in games now. Does that mean that he doesn't, does he go on to, does he go on to, potentially become, a midfielder in that sense? Would he be starting week in, week out if he was to be put as a 6 as well? You can't really say this stuff as well, but we will just have to wait and see, to be fair. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. But Red Machine saying, Buemo, no thanks. He's a really good player. He is a good player as well. I think he's only 24, surprisingly as well. But no, he hasn't proven nothing. Wow. Says Red Machine, really proven. Yeah, no to Jared Bowen. Before anyone comes at me with Bowen, no. Absolutely not. No thank you. Jared Bowen's a really good player, but for Liverpool, no. Genuinely no. I don't think that would be it. Anyway, but Red Machine said Bowen's clear. Bowen's clear. He's done it in a cup final. He has done it in a cup final, but no, I don't want Jared Bowen for Liverpool. I think would be way too expensive for Liverpool. Number 1 would be West Ham would want a lot of money. Number 2, English tax, and number 3, age. Jared Bowen's what, 27, 28. Again, Liverpool will want someone like a Bakayoko from PSV. They would want someone who is around 21, 23, 24 to, again, go up to that next level while at Liverpool. But right wing back says Adventure. Aït-Nouri, left wing back. Yeah, he's definitely someone I think Liverpool will sign in the summer. Is Aït-Nouri. I think Liverpool sign a left wing back, a centre half. We buy 2 centre halves, and 1 or 2 wingers, I think, in the summer. So what's that? 4 or 5 signings in the summer. Obviously letting go of a few people as well, in that sense, if it is going to be Amorim. Of course, I could be saying this next week, Amorim could be staying at Sporting and Liverpool looking for who else is available on the market. Ask Jurgen, can he stay for a year in that sense as well? But yeah, we'll have to just wait and see with that as well. But again, I'm not so sure on what Liverpool would look like under Amorim. Of course, we'll have to do a video on that as well. But 85 million for who? Aït-Nouri? We're not spending that much on him. A venture, Jesus Christ. Or do you think that's how much we're going to spend in the summer? as well. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts anyway in the comments. Everything we've mentioned, of course, goalkeeper, obviously, yeah, new goalkeepers as well. That's another thing that we didn't really think about then. But yeah, it's going to be a busy summer for Liverpool. Last summer was busy in terms of the midfielders, but overall squad's going to be huge this summer because we don't know if Mo's going to be going. We don't know whether or not if there's other players that might want to go in the summer as well. We're not sure, are we? So it will be an interesting time as well. But Con, would you recall Seb van der Berg? Apparently he's doing well in Germany. Well, of course he'll come back in the summer. It will be. Do you know what? It'll be interesting with Liverpool on what happens with the squads and with it as well, because like I think Fabio Carvalho now will be a big winner for Liverpool because again, it's him coming back. Obviously, I think he's doing amazing at Hull at the minute. I think he's got a ridiculous return rate. I think while at Fulham at the minute, Fulham's already at Hull, and it'll be the likes of Seb van der Berg will come back and might have a look. Tyler Morton. Luke Chambers, as Ozan says, but there, we also have Tyler Morton and Luke Chambers. Yeah, those are two I was about to mention. Luke Chambers as well was very much on the way to Leverkusen last summer. So, obviously Alonso would have liked him there as well. But yeah, there's plenty of people coming back and might stay now because Jurgen's going to be going. Like I said, Fabio Carvalho will definitely be a Liverpool squad next season. And another one, Owen Beck as well. Yeah, another great shout. But it will be interesting to see what we do. I think we won't sell anyone. I don't think next season that's going to be big, like in terms of development players. But I also do think that Liverpool will, if Amorim goes, we're not so sure on him, then we will get rid of him. And as well, you look at Tyler Morton. Tyler Morton's been, statistic-wise, has been up there for top as a 21 player this season in the Championship as well. So, again, it will be very, very good in that sense. But yeah, Carvalho will stay at Liverpool. But Morton and Chambers aren't good enough. I think you need to see what they're like to be fair, venture in the Liverpool team. Again, they're playing in the Championship. See what they can do for Liverpool. Chambers, I think, has been on the cusp a couple of times throughout the seasons, potentially playing for the first team. Tyler Morton's another one where you just have to see because of the development. Again, the data driven and the statistics would say that Tyler Morton's up there, but again, we would have to see. And like I said, Amorim might agree with you and think that as well. So we will just have to wait and see. But if they were, they'd be on loan to bigger teams. But again, they could be next season. Dan's needs more minutes in the next few games. He wants to get ahead of the rest as well. But at first, I thought Conor Bradley wasn't good enough. Again, Conor Bradley's amazing as well. Look at if anyone go and watch Bolton's games from him playing more and more as a right wing back, like really good for Bolton. Obviously, I think they won what cup did they win? Was it St. Johnson's Cup or something like that? But yes, Carvalho is a player. He needs bulking up a bit as well as a venture. I think he's fine. I think as well, Amorim would love a player like him as well anyway. But we're going to leave it there for tonight, guys. Anyway, big thank you to everyone. I've just seen we've been live for 44 minutes. So big thank you to everyone for tuning in as well. Very do much appreciate it. Of course, Wednesday will be a Europa League match preview show. Tomorrow might be another news episode if there is any news. If not, then we'll be back on Wednesday for the Europa League. Well, that's me clicking the button too early. Well done, Con, as well. But yeah, obviously it will be Wednesday will be the Europa League show, of course, because again, it's a big quarterfinal tie against Atalanta. Of course, Atalanta have got a few good results the last couple of weeks. I think they lost on the weekend, but being Napoli, I think 3 or 4-0 away from home is not easy to do, even though Napoli's not the best this season. But Papa John's Cup, I think. Oh, there we go. Carvalho has bulked up. If you've noticed, I think I've watched him a few times for Hull, but his position's weird though, because he plays as a striker for Hull, and for Liverpool he'd be playing as a winger for us for sure, or number 10 if we do switch to it anyway. But if you guys haven't, of course, seen the stuff, go back, watch it, let us know in the comments down below your guys' thoughts. If you are new around here as well, hit that like button, guys, hit that subscribe button and all that good stuff. It's very much appreciated as always. And yeah, if there's no news tomorrow, we'll see you on Wednesday for the preview show as well. But until next time, guys, that's going to be it from me. I've been Connor from the COP Council. I'll see you guys then. Ta-ra.